Yo, what up? Welcome back to the chop shop. I got a special guest, Aiden. He's gonna lend me a hand if it would stop raining. Because the second I grabbed parts to do some maintenance on the wife's truck, legit storm sirens went off and kind of ruining our plans right now. But we've got a cylinder number 4 misfire. I had access to the. You gonna fall? No. I had access to the maintenance records of the truck previously, so I knew that I had this problem before. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace all 6 of the coils. These are a off-brand part interchange number for a police interceptor package, and they look exactly like Excels, and they are of incredible quality, at least thus far. I've obviously not installed them, but I will not pay obscene prices for name brand electronics, especially for stuff like this. And I want to explain why real quick. This coil is doing 1/6 or 1/8 of the work that this coil is. This is the coil off of what would go to my F100. This coil sends a spark to the center of the distributor and fires all 8 of those pistons. This coil is responsible for all 8 of those pistons. This coil is only responsible for 1 of 6, and each of these coils are only responsible for one piston only. Why am I having to pay $100 to $200 a piece for a coil that is doing a small fraction of the percent of work that my nice heavy duty chrome fancy pants Excel super coil here is? This powers my whole engine by itself. This is powering 1/6 of the engine. Its load capacity is just not there. Why do you have to pay so much for them? It's stupid. Stop paying a bunch of money for. You're just throwing money away. It's just a way for people to get your scam you out of your money. It's dumb. Now, there are really cheap replicas and off-brand stuff on the market that I'm still waiting for you to wipe out. I'm not saying there's not bad stuff on the market that you shouldn't buy. These probably came from China. Fun fact, those OEM parts that you pay for come from the factory. They come from China. They come from Japan. They're being imported and manufactured in another country anyways. So you're just paying a bunch of money for no reason. And these literally look like the same exact seals, wire connection, everything as the Excels. So if this weather would let up, I'm going to make him get out there and do the work. Get the cover off there, pull some coils off. We're going to gap these spark plugs, toss them bad boys in. We've been through that before, but he doesn't know how to do it. So he's going to gap the spark plugs, and I don't want to make him get wet. I don't want to get wet either, but we'll see what happens.
Already 30?
Oh, did you get a lucky one? Keep it kind of flat. See how the spark plug has a flat surface right there? Keep her coin kind of flattish right there too, so you're getting a nice accurate reading. Yeah. Dropping right there about 30, aren't you? That one's alright. Well, that one's good. We'll move on to the next one. What happens is these will actually, like during shipping, they'll get bounced around and they can close. Like you see, I had to adjust that one. So we'll go through and we'll find, there's bound to be one that you have to adjust. So we'll find one. You ready? Alright, so first things first, check out the engine. See anything on this engine that looks anything the same as the old ones we've been looking at? No? Can you even see the engine? Kinda, sorta. See the oil filler cap over there?
Yeah.
Take that off. Lefty. Yep. And just set it aside. And then you can pry up on this cover right here.
Pry up?
Yep. Like stick your fingers up underneath of it and just pry upwards. Give it a good pull. You can be kind of mad at it, believe it or not.
No.
Scared?
No.
There we go. And then this guy comes out of the way. There's an engine under here. Get away. And what we are trying to attack is the coils we've been talking about. Mm-hmm. Are See them right here?
Mm-hmm.
These guys right here, they just go down into the engine. So what I'm gonna have you do is there's just one, I think that's like an 8mm. We're gonna disconnect this part of the wiring harness right here. There's one per coil. We'll unplug those, take that bolt out, slide these out. The spark plug will be down inside that. We'll get that out and we'll just swap out one at a time so long as we have daylight. We have plenty of daylight. It's dryness we're worried about. Now what you can do is you can just grab, nope, not yet. Just grab, you can slide this off now. I just didn't want, if it were to break, I wanted to be the one that broke it so you didn't feel bad. Yep. And you kind of just push it, lay it out of the way. Yep, here, we'll tuck it under here. Maybe, there we go. Yep, and then you can grab the drill. And should be already in the right direction, and that dude should just zip out. Bam.
Oh.
Ah, party foul.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll get it. We will get it, and then you should be able to slide that coil out.
What? Oh, this?
Yep. It's like a rubber grommet, so it's probably gonna have a little bit of suction or resistance to it. Plus it's stuck on the plug. Well, Shimon. All right, here, you hold. What are you holding on to, good sir? Dang. There it goes. There it goes. Look at that. Now look at the difference between this, I believe this is a almost $100 coil versus my $112 per set coil. I think my coil actually looks to be of better quality, besides the fact this one's dirty. The grommet and everything looks better, but anyway, we got that out of the way. Next, I'll take the camera back now and let you get back to work. Hopefully I've got enough extension for you here. Believe it or not, there is a spark plug all the way down in there. And maybe face your handle upward towards the top of the engine. And if you give it a little bit of wiggle, and I'll double check it before you start wrenching. But do you think you're on it?
I think so.
Let me double check you. It feels like you're on it. So we left her loosey. I'll break her for you, maybe. You want to camera me again real quick? And bam, she's loose. And I'll take camera back again. Look at this. Look at it. We're a good camera crew and techs. You want to take her rest of the way out? Nope, that's fine. It'll just clip right back on there.
This way?
Yep. Yep, it'll spin one way and then ratchet fully the other. So you can probably grab it like down here. Here, watch it. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. If it's see how easy? Down this way.
Yeah.
Yep. And in a couple turns, it'll probably be like so loose that you'll feel like you don't need a wrench, at which point in time you probably won't. Does it feel like crazy easy right now?
Yeah.
Go ahead and take the wrench off. It's alright, you're good. We'll just spin this by finger. Come on. There she is. Look how grody that is, huh? Compared to the nice clean ones that we just gapped. How much you want to bet these aren't gapped right? You want to double check? You think we should check? Let's check. Lucky you didn't bet me, huh?
Yeah.
Not gapped right. These spark plugs were done at a local Ford dealership, and they are not gapped properly. While I worked at said Ford dealership, I looked up proof because I bought the truck there, and I had access to those records. So, improperly gapped spark plugs installed directly from a Ford dealership Just saying. Alright, so now we can start reinstalling. Remember, there's a little like rubber grommet in here. So this is gonna hold on to this for you. So gently slide that back into the hole. Remember, we gapped those. So like, you know, don't be nervous, but don't just go bang at it on stuff. Just lightly put it in there, and then turn it rightwards, so clockwise.
This?
Yep, and you don't have to force it. They're real light threads, so you'll feel it kind of start to straighten itself or stand itself up. And then you can just kind of thread her on down in there. We're pretty long-winded. You saw me go for a minute. Yep, got her tight, and then I'll just... And you don't have to wrench on these, just like oil filters and spark plugs, you don't have to like manhandle them. You can literally, I'm sure there's some sort of like inch-pound or actual like torque rating, but I don't think I've ever met a mechanic that actually torques a spark plug. But pretty much just like finger tight, a little past it, they'll hold themselves. They don't have to be wrenched in there real tight. I'll use my little O-ring every once in a while. We're good this time. But now we can put our coil back. Next part. So we're just doing the reverse of what we just did. So, yep, that'll slide down right back into where the other one just came out of. You got a little line in your way right there.
Oh.
See him? There you go. Yep, push it in there just kind of securely. They're fresh gaskets, so it'll probably kind of want to suction cup back out on you. It's no big deal. The bolt will hold it in. And then you just plug it back in.
Did it work?
Yep, it sounded like it clipped, and then you can push that little red pin down there, the one I told you always breaks. Yep, bam. And that's completely secure. That won't unclip. That's there. So we literally just need to find that bolt that fell and do this 5 more times. And like I said, I want to number these because this had a number 4 cylinder misfire, and this truck has had that code a couple times in life. So I'm gonna record which one's number 4, keep all the coils, and then if I persist, or this persists to have this problem, we're gonna move on to possibly plugged catalytic converters, because apparently that makes this truck do this. And just keep an eye on number 4. It'll allow me to swap out number 4 coils if they persistently die and then tear into wire issues, apparently. But we got more work to do. Alright guys, so we got all 6 done on both sides, super simple. And I just showed you just the one of them he did. He did probably 80% of this side. I just did this side just because I was taller and able to reach. But we'll go ahead and fire the truck up. It's probably gonna still have its check engine light, just because it's in the computer. I'll have to take it and get it cleared, but I just fired it up, making sure she's good right now. Look, you're a master mechanic.
Not yet.
This is new technology. You should be impressed. That's actually a lot smoother than this thing's been idling when it's fired up for quite some time. It's normally bellowing out pretty rich fuel. You can see it's still running a little bit rich, but it should when it first fires up. But it's normally pretty thick, rich on fuel, so it's been misfiring, especially on fire up, for a minute. Oh, this thing's, it's already running better. Oh yeah. But they come to find out that A, they didn't use anti-seize on any of these, which drives me nuts. It's not a life or death thing. But they also didn't gap them. I haven't checked all of them, but the first one I checked, I bet him money that they didn't gap it, and sure as shit, it wasn't gapped. So somebody was in here and half-assed it. Somebody paid like 90 to 100 bucks an hour to have half-assed work done to this truck before, and me and a 13-year-old just went through and did it the right way. So if this has a check engine light, which I'm sure it still does, I'll probably run it down to the local parts store. And yep, she showed us. And we'll get that cleared up. We'll take it for a test drive, make sure she's all good to go. Alright guys, so I'm on the way to the parts store just real quick to get this code cleared. And I'm gonna be honest, even with the code on, the truck seems to act a little bit different. I don't know if it goes into like some sort of limp mode or restricts the power of it, but with this check engine light on, A, the remote start doesn't work. B, it seems to have much less power, not on a downshift, and acts goofy when in cruise control. And just from the short drive to the parts store already, even with the light on, I can tell that this thing is running better than it has since we've had it. Again, kind of shows you the importance of gapping your spark plugs, but obviously that number 4 coil was misfiring enough that this thing was down on power. This thing feels so much better. So again, we're into the parts store, gonna get this code cleared, and I'll probably go like romp on it, make sure she's good to go, and hand this thing back over to the wife. Well, I am now on my 3rd parts store visit in town, and I've been shut down clearing the code and every facility because COVID. Are you fucking serious right now? Really? I can tell you right now though, like I said, this thing's running a bajillion times better. This thing was down on power. You could literally feel it not wanting to build boost and just cruising around. Just kinda, piggy pig here. Get on her. Instantly brakes the tires loose. Ain't a boost. There's 50. This thing, night and day difference. That coil and plugs and everything, coils and plugs, definitely made a huge difference. And I have 113 bucks wrapped up into that. And me and a 13-year-old did it, and my driveway took us about half an hour. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go home, disconnect this battery, probably let it sit overnight. It'll probably clear the radio and everything, but whatever. And that check engine light should be off. Since, because of COVID, I can't go into any stores and have my fucking vehicle engine cleared. Jeez, how ridiculous. They make it impossible for you to do anything and everything on your own anymore. It's asinine. Anyway, this is just a little bonus episode I'm gonna kick out for you. Thanks for swinging by. Get your kids involved, teach them some stuff. That was upon his request. I didn't twist his arm, make him do that. He wanted to come wrench, he wanted to come learn. So I allowed him that opportunity. There will probably be many more of him. So hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe, share. Much love. Deuces.